Okay, approaching the 1,000-meter mark in the men's varsity 4 petite final. And it looks as though the crews from Western Washington and Arizona State have broken away, or, sorry, I beg your pardon, the crews from Arizona State and Loyola Marymount have a slight advantage over Western Washington. Definitely a race that's split into two. The leading boat at the moment is Arizona State, followed by Loyola Marymount, followed by Western Washington. Then very tight for fourth place between Chico State, Lewis and Clark, San Diego State and Sacramento State. Coming through the 500-meter mark, and the crew from Arizona State has broken away from Loyola Marymount and Western Washington, but Western Washington are putting in a big challenge to Loyola Marymount. They were down on them and they're now moving up level. For the back half of the race, it's Chico State and Lewis and Clark. Western Washington have eased past Loyola Marymount into second place, but it's still Arizona State that are controlling the race from the front. So in the final 200 meters, it's Arizona State from Western Washington, from Loyola Marymount. Then very tight for fourth place between Chico State, Lewis and Clark and San Diego State, with Sacramento State trailing. As they come to the line, Arizona State controlling the race from the front. Western Washington came through Loyola Marymount at around the 500-meter mark. And then we're looking at the race for fourth place now, very tight between Lewis and Clark and Chico State. Looks like Lewis and Clark. This again could come down to whoever has their blades in the water at the last minute. Chico State, Lewis and Clark, and San Diego State. Still have one boat on the race course, crew from Sacramento State. And we have a start in the men's varsity 4. Lane 1, Puget Sound. Lane 2, UC Santa Barbara. Lane 3, Santa Clara. Lane 4, UC Davis. Lane 5, UCLA. Lane 6, Seattle. Lane 7, Long Beach State. Form crews out of the heats. UC Santa Barbara, who did a 6:55, and Puget Sound, who did a 6:59. The other crews in the race vary between 7 minutes dead and 7:07. So we might well see a tussle between lane 1 and 2, Puget Sound and UC Santa Barbara, and then a very close race for third between Santa Clara, UC Davis, UCLA, Seattle, and Long Beach. As they come through the 1,000-meter mark, the crew from UC Santa Barbara has opened up a significant lead over Puget Sound in lane 1, but the other 4 boats in the race, or other 5 boats in the race, are very even with each other. In third place at the moment is UC Davis, who have a slight advantage over Santa Clara, with UCLA and Seattle really level pegging with Santa Clara. In fact, UCLA just seem to have snuck into the lead over Santa Clara and are challenging UC Davis. But out in front, in the third 500, UC Santa Barbara have pressed the accelerator and are moving away by feet every stroke over Puget Sound. Puget Sound seem unable to respond at this point and are now being challenged by UC Davis, who are in turn still being challenged by UCLA, Santa Clara and Seattle. With 500 to go, commanding lead for UC Santa Barbara in the women's varsity 4 final. But it is very, very close for second place. Puget Sound just hanging on to second at the moment, but they're being challenged by Davis, who are in turn being challenged by UCLA and Santa Clara. This is the men's varsity 4 grand final. UC Santa Barbara, a commanding lead, but exceedingly tight for second place. It looks as though UC Davis have just crept into second place at the moment, but they're being challenged very strongly by UCLA. Very difficult to tell as the parallax view unwinds, but as they come down to the line, it's UC Santa Barbara being challenged by UC Davis, being challenged by UCLA, with Puget Sound easy to tell who finished first. Good and commanding performance from UC Santa Barbara. The rest of the placings I will give you when we have some photo finishes. Very tight racing. Unofficially, the men's varsity 4, a win for UC Santa Barbara. Second place, UC Davis. Third, UCLA. Fourth, Puget Sound. Fifth, Santa Clara. Sixth, Seattle. And seventh, Long Beach. Unofficially. Imminent is your 10:20 race, the women's varsity 4, Division 1. Lane 1, San Diego. Lane 2, UC San Diego. Lane 3, Sacramento State. Lane 4, Seattle University. Lane 5, Loyola Marymount. Form crew out of the heats was the University of San Diego. The challenge out of the heats, there are some significant gaps in times in this race. So as you see them across the course, lanes 1 through 5